How would it be if two shipwrecked people joined forces? This is the idea that brought together Mrs. Krogstad and Mrs. Lynde to a private room. One party is more willing and the other is questioning the purpose. Kristin briefly explains, I want to be a mother to someone, and your children need a mother. Krogstad writes a letter revealing the secrets of Nora and then puts it into the mailbox. Mrs. Lynde sits in the Helmers' house, waiting. Krogstad soon appears in the doorway, having received a note from Mrs. Lynde asking her to meet him. She tells him that they have a great deal to talk about, and it becomes apparent that Mrs. Lynde once had romantic relations with Krogstad, but broke them off in order to marry Mrs. Lynde, who had more money. Mrs. Lynde says that she felt the marriage was necessary, for the sake of her brothers and mother, but regrets having ignored her heart, which told her to stay with Krogstad. She tells Krogstad that she wants to get back together with him, to take care of him and his children. Krogstad is overjoyed. Mrs. Lynde hears the music stop upstairs and realizes that Torvald and Nora will soon return. Torvald goes to retrieve his mail and notices that someone has been tampering with the mailbox lock using one of Nora's hairpins. Nora blames the children. In the mail, Torvald finds that Dr. Rank has left two calling cards with black crosses on them. Nora explains to Torvald that this means that Dr. Rank has gone away to die. Torvald expresses sadness, but decides that Dr. Rank's death might be best for everyone, since it will make Torvald and Nora quite dependent on each other. He tells Nora that he loves her so much that he has wished in the past that Nora's life were threatened so that he could risk everything to save her. Nora encourages Torvald to open his letters, but he argues that he would rather spend time with her. She reminds him that he must think of his dying friend, and he finally agrees that perhaps reading his letters will clear from his head the thoughts of death and decay. Torvald goes into the other room, and Nora paces for a while. She throws Torvald's cloak around her shoulders and her shawl on her head. She is contemplating suicide and is about to rush out of the house, never to return when Torvald storms out of his study in a rage after reading Krogstad's letter. Nora confesses that everything Krogstad has written is true and tells Torvald she has loved him more than anything. Torvald tells her to stop talking, bemoans the ugliness of the forgery, and calls Nora a hypocrite and liar. He then says that he should have seen such a thing coming. Nora's father was a morally reckless individual. Torvald blames Nora for ruining his life and his happiness by putting him at Krogstad's mercy. Torvald refuses to allow Nora to leave and says that the family must pretend that all is as it was before, but he states that Nora should no longer be able to see the children. He says that he will try to silence Krogstad by paying him off and hopes that he and Nora can at least keep up the appearance of happiness.
Gülmeden seni almadım ben.
Bu ne lan? Bu ne lan?
Ay vurma abi.
Yani baştan yani baktı güldü o sayılmaz bu.
Ya ben... Neyse tamam hadi başla araya.
Bir dakika bu kustu.
Böyle video mu olur ya? Neyse bak kaybol iyi gol değil mi? Yazıp durmuş tamam mı? Nereden bunlar? Yapmadan duramayacağım bak böyle. Nara arya. Ayko yıka.